Alright, ladies and gents, and Cat and Gaming here, back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about you as an F2P player. You do not have to panic pull, or rather do not panic pull for FEIXIAO. Obviously, disclaimer, my thoughts are my thoughts and your thoughts are your thoughts. If you want to summon for the character, feel free to summon for the character. If you don't want to summon for the character, well, then don't summon for the character. Anyway, obviously if you like the video, hit that like and subscribe, but let's get into it. So obviously we're just going to jump right into the fact that FEIXIAO is going to be coming out in a few days, specifically Wednesday. We're going to be having the upgrade patch probably on Monday or Tuesday, and the general view or the general kind of topic of today is three things. First of all, her team synergy, or rather her team specifically, her greatest team or best team, my personal view from a free-to-play perspective, and the fact that as a free-to-play player she will rerun in future, giving you ample time to do what you need to do. So as we start off the video, I just want to obviously point out I've always been an advocate of character investment as compared to account investment. What I mean by that is, in many YouTube terms, is horizontal development and vertical investment, or whatever it is that I have been able to save up and been able to get E2 Firefly and get her Lycone as well, and then for Akron I was able to actually go all the way to E4 and then also get her Lycone as well. And one of the major things that obviously FEIXIAO now is offering is the fact that she's able to do what Akron does, but it's sort of more upgraded, or rather not upgraded but hunt level. Now my thoughts on it, so let's obviously start with teams. Everybody has watched a video on what FEIXIAO can do, her optimal rotation, what her skills is, and what her ultimate does, right? And I personally think, depending on your account, the reason why you should not panic pull for FEIXIAO is the fact that unlike someone like Firefly and unlike someone like Akron, she is very dependent in terms of her best team to be two 5-star limited characters, being Robin and the other character being Topaz. Now I understand completely why those two are very important for the character, and I think it's not as good as when Firefly and Akron came out, because you see, with Firefly, her most optimal team is basically the Trailblazer Harmony, the Harmony Trailblazer and Gallagher. You can kind of skip out Ruin May over the fact that Firefly does have a really good kit, but Ruin May is a very good unit for Firefly, and majority of people who, if started Honkai Star Rail when the game released, will have gotten Ruin May. So realistically, if you remove Ruin May, the best character for Firefly would actually be Gallagher and the Harmony Trailblazer, who we actually get for free during the course of the play or playing the game, right? For Akron, the same thing. All you need is basically a dedicated healer, which I think majority will probably have had. I've not even lost my 50-50 to her, have I? The only other 5-star character that I would say would be very good, probably even Bailu, to be honest, but majority of the time you can really work hand in hand with the team that you have. If you're starting up, majority of the time you can actually very much go, if you're starting off, you can very much do, you can handle Natasha if you have Natasha, and then obviously down the line, if you got Gallagher, well and good, but and then obviously Hawa is also, and Luocha, but Bailu would be a good replacement. But you see, with Akron, on top of the fact that her E2 removes the need of another Nihility character, the fact that, you know, you need two Nihility characters, and majority of the time we did get Sampo as a general F2P unit. You can kind of play around and have Sampo as a general unit. So majority of the time, this is how a completely free to play kind of team for Akron would look like majority of the time, which is very possible, right? And this is very possible. So if you remove Ruin May, the other option that you know can be there is just probably another unit that can give some sort of viability, maybe like Hanya, to add more speed on top of the amount of speed that what's her name, that Firefly has. You could have Dr. Ratio, who basically just adds some counter, and or maybe even Bronya, right? Or it's up to you, really, to be honest. We get these characters for free, and so the other general replacement I would have realistically is probably even just Hanya, because Hanya adds like a speed buff to the damage units. So on top of the amount of 240 or 220 speed that Firefly gets during the course of the game, I think realistically this would be the most optimal team from a free-to-play perspective, and obviously this being another free-to-play team from an optimal perspective. So now we have FEIXIAO. So we'll replace FEIXIAO with let's say him, right? We'll just do that for Dan Heng, for example, right? So the most free-to-play team that I can say that works for her would work at any point in time is probably Dr. Ratio, because of his follow-up attacks. I could also see Himiko being a very good unit for her as well. From a free-to-play perspective, let's see. I think also probably not unfortunately not her. I could also see I could actually also see Herta being part of that team, and then obviously if you have a healer, you could go depending on who you have on your account. In my account, I could actually just go her like that. This would be, I'd say, an optimal team, obviously Dan Heng being FEIXIAO. But now the problem comes with the fact that obviously our most optimal team is Topaz and Robin, over the fact that obviously they have this obviously Robin has this advance up for the whole team, and Topaz basically can attack every other like 3 turns as much as soon or as long as there's a follow-up character doing a follow-up attack. So yeah, that it would work like that. And honestly, compared to this two realistically, now let's say I just do my general team. You know, I got my Hua, and then I got my Bronya. This is very you get these 2 characters, and then you just kind of just have to wait for another abundance unit. Whereas with FEIXIAO right now, this is the closest thing that I can actually do in terms of a free-to-play perspective. Yes, this is the closest thing, to be honest, because I'm not going to be rolling for Robin, nor am I going to be rolling for Topaz on this account. I just don't see the need specifically. My second point is my personal view. Now obviously this is now going towards character investment, or rather unit investment. Now after getting Firefly E1 and E2, and after getting Acheron E1 and E2, E4 actually, until E4, I personally don't see the need of getting a character or getting a 5-star limited character only at E0 with a light cone. I don't think it helps me at all, to be honest, because even FEIXIAO kind of has the same thing that Acheron has. Whereas Acheron, you see, you lose the need of having one more Nihility unit and can now have a buffer unit. For FEIXIAO, it's that it removes the need for her to have 2 attacking, or rather for every 2 attacks is where her stack builds up. It becomes just 1 attack. So for every attack that is thrown on the enemy, there is a stack that builds up, obviously adding up to the 12 or the 6 depending on the amount that's there. So realistically, from my personal experience, from my personal perspective, is that I've seen more viability and I've seen more utility from at least investing until E2, as opposed to just not getting that character, or rather getting just E0. Because even realistically, I would, the next time there's a character rerun for Ruin May, I will be summoning 4 and for her E2, because right now I've saved up about 110 premium pools, and that's the plan. To be honest, I don't see now, for my view, after having characters built up in this way, specifically limited characters, it's very hard for me to go back to only getting a 5-star character at E0. It's very, very hard. That's just my honest opinion. They just have more utility when they have Eidolons, especially someone like Firefly. Her E2 just completely cheats out the game, and Acheron, her E2 also enables you in terms of team flexibility. E4, ultimate damage, ultimate damage vulnerability, and then E6, everything that she does basically is dealt by 20%, including her basic and skill, which now then turn to ultimate damage, and then obviously can reduce the toughness regardless of the weakness types. So yeah, I think personally, I am now going to the point where I would rather get a character and the Eidolons rather than just get the character alone and say, okay, free to play, very good. No, not anymore for me. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then obviously the third point, she will rerun at some point. And if she's rerunning at some point, that means you can save for her to get to that point. And realistically, when Acheron came out, I'll be very honest with you, 100%, I had talked about in one of my videos that someone will come out that might do what she does at a better level or something similar. Now we have Firefly, who basically implants a fire weakness, and then if put in the right team, can basically break a character or break an enemy unit within literally just two of her attacking turns. You have someone like now obviously FEIXIAO, who is doing exactly what these two units do, but now at hunt level and single target, and being a single target like nuker, right? Because at 12 stacks you kind of just hit it, and if you have a Ruin May or Robin, you can basically just do it twice, right? It completely removes that essence of that toughness bar, and you just, you know, you hit big PP damage. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. You know, she will rerun, kind of let the character come out, let everyone play, let everyone kind of remove the videos saying, oh, you know, hits 100 million damage or 500,000 million damage. You know, just leave it at that. Everybody's going to hype up a new character that comes out, but is that character beneficial to you? That's the question. And if the character is not beneficial to you, then I don't think you should be summoning. I know everybody's going to be part of the FOMO, where, you know, a new character comes out, especially a character that has this nice looking animation. You want to have that character because of that animation. If you don't need that character, trust me, don't do it. And if you're F2P, if you are F2P and you're not able to get at least an E2, I would suggest saving up until you get an E2. But with that said, that's all I want to talk about. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will see you in the next one.